behind the ball and stay behind the ball. It's how you blend those two, how you hit it long and straight, and that's a pretty rare combination. But if you look at Jason Day, he's obviously very fit, he's very flexible, he makes a terrific turn of his upper body, and he generates so much power on the way down. Look at his left hip right there. It was lower than his right, but it's at impact. He's behind the ball, and he creates or uses his body in such a powerful way, because when you stay behind the ball, you've moved laterally, you've moved horizontally, and you've moved vertically. So you get all these things, this rotation, and it creates an axis at impact. And almost every athlete, whether it's a ice skater, they'll take off on a 45-degree angle like that, or a power hitter in baseball, say Mike Trout, who has the fastest speed off the bat this year at 120 miles an hour. You're going to see this axis at impact. They're behind the ball. Obviously, they start behind the ball, stay behind the ball, and then they don't open up until the moment at impact. And
Open up where?
Tremendous amount of stored power and release power. And that's what you see in the most powerful hitters, not only in baseball, obviously, but certainly in golf. And that power plays into every other aspect of the game. And it's been evident over the last year and a half with Jason Day. David, he has the power, but as we've seen, he also has the touch around the greens.
You know, it's hard to find somebody who would call better around the greens right now. It just looks like every time with his motion that he's going to pitch it close, and he's shown that throughout the first round and a half, a little more than round and a half that he's played here. He makes this look like an easy golf shot. He has to fly it over one slope, chase it up another. How this doesn't go in is beyond me. You know, when you have that power, put it in a position, tap in, it's incredible. And then when it gets out of position like he did here on the 12th hole, not the easiest of shots, Alistair, you know well. Pitches it perfectly into the slope, lets it release down the hill, just 4 or 5 feet, would knock that in, stay bogey-free so far through this Players' Championship. That combination of power and touch is tough to beat.
Frank, he drives it long, great touch around the greens. Then when he's on the greens, he might as well be a great putter. Right, exactly. He just fills it up.
Yeah, there's things to learn, obviously from Jason Day as well as a lot of the other great putters. And really there's two main areas that I look at. There's the guys that release the putt ahead. Crenshaw comes to mind, the late Bobby Locke. Tiger Woods, they actually like to feel like they were hooking putts. So that in that situation, they always try to allow the toe to almost past the heel as it's going through impact. Either that, or you use probably what I think with fast greens now is the best stroke, which is like a pendulum. So if we look at Jason Day's address position, and we just thought of start to draw a few lines in, and for a pendulum stroke, you've got to obviously get a nice little sort of a wide look at the thing. But what we're going to do, we'll just draw some lines in there, but also extend the grip to a place in the sternum. I want you to keep an eye on the top of where that grip would point to. See there, it just continues to point to the chest. So that's basically a perfect pendulum stroke. And the other way to look at it is to look at the putter head. Just before impact, that putter head, without any rotation, has to pass the grip. So there's no real hit in the stroke. Obviously, when you hit the ball, you start to lose energy, you lose power. So with a pendulum, you let it swing back, it's going to hit the ball. Obviously, momentum's going to slow down. But there's none of this, none of that. And he allows the putter head to pass the top of the grip. I mean, it's a very, very simple stroke. Obviously, he has great feel with it. And with today's agronomy, where greens get up around 13 or